Good morning again. Back again, kind of sharpish. This is a little story. I said a little story, but a little story about once youth. My father, Lord of Mercy, Garda, policeman, used to tell us. You used to read. I think it was. I don't know. I think it was in the Sunday Independent. Maybe it was the Irish Independent, but it was the Phantom. It was a story about the Phantom, and then another story in the paper about Hopalong Cassidy, a cowboy in the Wild West in the United States. We always loved those stories. So he used to read the Phantom to myself and my brother Donald, and likewise Hopalong Cassidy. So one day he asked us, "Who do we think the Phantom was?" I don't know what my brother Donald said, but I know I said, "God," because he used to fly through the air. And I don't think any human being could do that. That's what I said, God. So this is a very young age. And and then he used to read Hopalong Cassidy. I remember one incident in Hopalong Cassidy because he was always chasing the, the bad people. And he caught up with a fella and he had his six shooter out. And he said to this fella, "Going places, Gilgore." This was the bad fella. "Going places, Gilgore." I always remember that. Funny what I remember, isn't it? So these are little stories. And then there was another little story told by Mother Angelica uh, the other evening on EWTN. She's a marvellous programme every Wednesday from 8 to 9, and on a Sunday from 7 to 8. And she's well worth watching because she was a great advocate for the Catholic faith and for the traditional way of doing things, and not for the sort of secular way that sometimes they've gone and done things in the Catholic churches that she didn't approve of, but she wasn't afraid to say it. But there was a young chap came to her one time, perhaps with his parents or something, and he said to Mother Angelica, "We've been playing baseball and we haven't won a match." He says to Mother Angelica, and she said, she said, "Ask Jesus and he'll help you." So the little fella went off, and subsequently he told, I think Mother Angelica told him to say, "Jesus, hit that ball," because in baseball you're hitting the ball. So when he was playing the baseball, Mother Angelica forgot about this story and hadn't won a match. But when he was playing when he was patting or whatever it was in this baseball, she said, "Jesus, hit that ball." So they won the match, and he come on to Mother Angelica later. He said, I took your word and said, "Jesus, hit that ball." So they won the match. And it's a little story, kind of a simple story that children and us adults that are still children in here and sometimes up here, that we reflect on and see the good. Just shows you. So Jesus, hit that ball. So these are a couple of little stories that I thought I'd tell you, and it lifts the spirits. And you'd have a few stories too in your life. We all have stories, haven't we? As we're growing up, and hopefully good stories. We don't want to focus on anything that wasn't so good. We want to try and see the good, isn't that right? That's what Jesus taught us. See the good in everybody, even if they're not so good, because they're all made in the image and likeness of God. Full stop. It's often a difficult task to do, especially ones that we have problems with. But that's what we're obliged to do. But funny enough, when you're retired and you're out of the rat race, shall we say, um, you have time to sort of develop that aspect of your nature, and you thank God, But it's advisable to do it even when you're working, and that take little time out to meditate. I know in some countries, I forget where it was, but workers, I think it was in Japan, were allowed now to take 10 minutes off. I don't know whether it was in every hour or something like that to meditate and, that type of thing. And that was a good thing. And I often think in workplaces today it should be done and encouraged, and good employers, good people that's running businesses be well advised to do that and not be working people to death. Like that film I saw with Charlie Chaplin, Modern Times, and he's in a factory, and they're doing things and putting things on things, and then upstairs the boss man says to the fella, increase the speed, so he pulls levers, and then they're going like this. And Charlie was very funny. He lands, he goes through the tunnel, and he goes a bit droopy. It's very funny. Modern Times, if you ever can look at it on the internet, it's give you a great smile. He was a marvelous comedian, but Modern Times takes the biscuit. It's so funny. You can visualize it. Yeah, it's great. And so he goes a bit crazy. So whatever he has, he's running after people and trying to snare them. So it's very good. Okay, have a good day. Enjoy the rest of your day and say your prayers. Don't forget that. Bye now. I'll have a little more later on. Bye.